Good morning, my dear students. I am once again back. As you know, this is Ansuman. I am the administrator of Archana Institute of Technical Education and Research. So, in yesterday's practical class, in the paper JCST P004, that is Digital Cartography and Landform Profiling, you have learnt about how to prepare different types of the thematic maps like the dot map or the choropleth map or the graduated symbol based different kinds of cartograms, how to insert the bar charts or pie charts within the maps, etc. So the today's class is basically based on how to prepare a good map layout. So in this particular context, the first thing that I would like to discuss in this particular session is what are the elements of a good map, or what are the things that a good map should constitute. Now the basic elements that a good map should constitute are as follows. Number one, north line. That is, the map should clearly indicate the northern direction. This is number one. Second, it should have a neat line. That is, the drawing area as well as the area that is to be kept for the tables or that is to be kept for the index and other things should have to be specified very properly. And in this context, I would like to mention that the total map area should be at least 70% to 75% of the entire area. This is very much accurate. Otherwise, it will look like that the legend and other things that you will impose in your layout will just come out to eat upon you. So this is an important factor. Another factor is that it should have a proper scale. It is the third important component, that a map should always bear a good scale, so that one by just looking at the scale can identify what is the area that it is showing up. After that, the legend. Legend means all the materials which you will be inserting or imposing in your map should have to be specifically reflected. This is another important factor. And apart from that, another important thing will be your color. The practical means on screen while we will be doing it, those things I will show. So to prepare up a good map, you should remember we should maintain or we should provide these following things. Just to cite an example, the grid line. After that, this should have a north line. It should have a proper legend. It should have a proper scale, and finally the grids, and finally the combination of the color. So how to prepare this layout? Let me just work out practically on it. So what I will do, I will just go to the add data option. From the add data option, I will select the respective drive in which I have stored up my data. So let's first of all, I will prepare two layouts today. One on the last day data. So I have taken or I have added this the particular data on which we have been working on the last day. Now what we will have to do in order to prepare up the layout, we will have to arrange up the data in a proper way, so that why I am doing so, all these things I will just specify very clearly. I will be preparing the population density map, and in terms of the population density, what I will do, as I have shown you yesterday, I am interested to prepare based upon this particular quantities. Through the quantities I will do and graduated colors, I am basically interested in preparing a chromochromatic map. So these are the classes I have already shown you. I will just tick this particular box, show class ranges using feature values, click on apply, click on OK. So up to this particular part we have already noted. Now let's come to the layout tools. You just see, this is the layout view and this is the data view. That is, data means on screen when you are working on the data, this is the data view, while this is the layout view. Acha, in this context I would like to mention, if any of my students of junior certificate course in Surveying Technology second semester have any question, they are free to ask me while I am live or while I am going online. So anyway, or even if the other students also, that is the passed out students, as well as some of the friends or some of the people in the GIS were studying or were working and needs some clarification, then they can ask me. Now this is the layout view. In the layout view, or before going into the layout view, you just see the layout view has come. But what I will do is that I will use this layout tool, where from I have gained right click on the menu bar, and you see it is an extension. This extension you will have to out, that is the layout. So in this layout, these are the different options. This is for the zoom in, this is for the zoom out, this is the pan tool, this is for the zoom whole page, this is for the zoom to 100%, this is for fixed zoom in, fixed zoom out. Now we are noting the data in 45% or 45% extent, and this is to change the layout. Basically what I will do, now this thing you should have to understand which particular type of layout form you will take when you are working on a particular classroom project. In that case, just A4 will be sufficient. Now landscape means it will be horizontal, and this portrait means it will be vertical. Here I have selected, you just see, if I select this one, this kind of vertical dimension, that is 210 millimeter into 297 millimeter is showing. When we will use this A0 size, when we will be using the industrial maps, or when we will be preparing the maps for the different projects, government projects or industries, etc. Similarly for the A0 portrait, A1 is a bit smaller size in comparison to that of the A0 size. Now what is the size of A1 landscape? It is 594 millimeter into 841 millimeter, as you can see. Now A1 portrait, it is 594 millimeter into 841 millimeter. That is, whether you will do in landscape or in portrait, it will basically be. A2 means 420 millimeter into 594 millimeter, which means 420 in breadth and 594 in length here. Now A3, 420 in length millimeter and 297 millimeter in breadth. Now A4, 297 millimeter in length, 210 millimeter in breadth. I am choosing this particular A4 portrait. You will have to click on finish to select, and this is the first and foremost task that you will have to do when you are going to prepare up a map layout. After this is the neat line within which you will have to keep up your data. You just see I am extending it a bit, but in the way so as to encompass the grid line values to stand in the upper part as well as in the lateral parts or in the bottom part. Now after that, what I will do, I will just zoom up my data to some extent in the way so that it fits the screen. And no part is left out. You just see I am just adjusting the data on the screen, because when we are preparing a map, the first and foremost thing that is essential to have a sense of aestheticity, or the map should look good. Let's try to zoom it to 50%. Let's see what happens. See, a bit more prominence, a bit more map area has increased. So I will adjust up to that particular extent till I found that my map area is covered up to the maximum extent or in the best possible way. You just see now 60% of the area has been covered. Okay, I will check it how it is looking. 60%. Let's do. Okay. It has came up like this. So let's see whether it has covered the maximum of the areas. Yes, almost. Now in the very first, what I will do, Let's increase it a bit because to make it much more visible or much more acceptable. Let's get our data ready in the way as like I will first of all label up the feature. Why I am labeling? Just to make you understand what are these particular units are. So in the label section I will have to go through the layer properties. Sector name, you just see we are labeling the field by sector name. Now what I will have to do is that whenever you will be preparing up the map, either use Arial narrow or use Times New Roman, because these are the official fonts. I basically prefer using this Times New Roman. I am making it a bit bold. You just see now it is much more properly visible, this inside names. Right. Now after that what I will do is that I need to change up my legend also, or I need to format my legend well also. So I will click on this layer and go to its symbology, and in the symbology I will write up this thing. It is low. Similarly, moderate it is. It is high, and it is very high. Why I am taking 5 class? Yesterday I have also mentioned, because it is the most conventional process to divide the density values in 5 respective broad classes. You just see it is also reflected over here now. So this will come as our legend. Now what we'll have to do, we can add up all the necessary things which are stored or which are used in a particular map. You see the title. Title means the map title. Again, if we have to add up any text, that also we can add over here. Dynamic text option is here. Neatline is here. Legend is here. Not array is here, etc., etc., etc. Everything. First, I will add the map title. Now, what will be the title of the map? Chromatic map showing the distribution of population density. So this has, you just see the map title has come. Now what we will have to do, we will have to edit it as per our necessary, because it is exiting the screen. What I will do, I will simply, let me show from the beginning. I will just click over it. You just see it has got selected. This green line is coming, which shows that it is selected. I will click on it, and in the after clicking, I will go to click on this change symbol. In the change symbol, as I told you, I prefer Times New Roman. I will go for that and select a font size of 16. I think that will be sufficient. Let's check. Yes, it is comparatively looking good. I can extend it up a bit. Let's make it 18 and see what happens. Is it looking nice? I think a bit it is. Now what I will have to do is that, what is the area? That also needs to be specified. This is data of which area? So I will import, add a text to mention, that is sectors of Tawang Township. This is just an arbitrary data. Please do not think that this is the original or authentic. I am just using it for the sake of your understanding. This is not the real data. Real data means the figures are not real, only for to make you understand. These figures are given, and actually I will not give you the actual figures also, because in that case departments will sue us. I am not the authorized person to provide you with this all these data sets. Like this we will have to do. Now the one thing we will have to mention, the main heading will be a bit bigger. Let's make it a bit small. I will be using this will look nice, 14. You just see it is now looking nice. And of which area? That is sectors of Tawang Township, Arunachal Pradesh. Now making parallel with that of this particular title, what I will have to do is that I will have to insert my north arrow. I usually prefer these arrows, this style. There are several styles, you can choose it from here, but I don't like to make my maps clumsy. These are all different types which you can just get by clicking on the insert. From insert you will have to just click on the north arrow, then these options will come. So I will just take it over here, make it parallel and place it on the north. Okay, so one thing you have to remember, that your map should be as much simple as you can make, because clumsy maps does not look nice, at least as far as my idea is concerned, or my understanding of the cartography subject and other things. थोड़ा सा और बढ़ाते हैं मैप एरिया, और एक बार देख भी लेते हैं हाउ इट इज लुकिंग. अच्छा, one thing you should know why I have chosen up this choice. You just see I am making it a bit zooming out. You just see the data which we are using is quite elongated. That is, it is extending from north to south, right? So henceforth I am using this. If the data would have been extended in east to west direction, I would have chosen up a landscape format. So 60%, 70%. Okay. Now what we will have to do is that we will have to add up the dynamic text related to that of the coordinate system and other things, because we need to specify very clearly from where or what is the data and projection which we are using for the sake of the global community in GIS. You just see this has come. Now what I will do, I will just change its font size and font type. As I told you, your font that you will be using in the map should be identical. Okay, this thing you have to keep in mind. It should have to be very much identical, and this should not keep on changing. It is okay over here. Let's keep the font size as 10. Let's keep it at 11. Make it a bit centralized. Click on apply, click on OK. So this has come. I want to make it a bit smaller, because you can see that I will have to adjust it up. And one thing you will have to note, that this should not overwrite your map data. Okay, that you will have to keep in mind very clearly. I am keeping it over here, or one thing can be done, place it over here, because the space we have to maintain very clearly. और थोड़ा छोटा कर देते हैं so that it looks nice, and it has been kept as bold. Let's make it normal. Now what I will have to do, I will have to again go to the insert. I will have to place up the scale bar, that is the map scale. Where from I am getting, going to the insert, showing it again for your understanding. Let's going to the insert, and from the insert I am taking this scale bar, going to the scale bar and clicking on it. So these are the different types of patterns of scale you can see. Usually I like or I prefer this kind of comparative scale patterns. So what I will have to do now, I will have to edit up. My edit means I will have to edit up my scale bar. I will go simply to the properties. The total number of divisions means the primary division, and these are the secondary divisions. So primary divisions will be 4, that is after 0 the divisions, those are primary divisions, and these are subdivisions means before 0. I am keeping 4 subdivisions as well as 4 primary divisions, and I will check up this show 1 division before the 0, that is I would like to show my scale in form of primary division as well as secondary division. Now the division units will be in, it is in miles, but I will change it, I will make it kilometer, and this is the gap, or this is the label, etc, etc, etc. Let's click on OK and simply just click on OK over here. You just see your scale has come. So what does this means? In this form it means that 1 centimeter, most probably it will be 1 centimeter length on map, is equal to 0.9 kilometers, not a big area we are representing. It has been specified very clearly. Now let's go to the legend. In the legend we will just do one thing. You just see, माने जितना आप लोग रेडी कर लेंगे आप लोग का डेटा उतना अच्छा है. इसमें आप लोग कीजिए population per square of the number of the people residing in terms of the total geographical area. So that is why I am using population per square kilometer. I am specifying, and because I am using my map or I am specifying my data as in terms of the kilometer, hence I will just simply go to insert. I will just go to the legend. You just see it has got selected because this is the only layer here, so it has got selected. Number of the columns, here it is showing how many columns I need in my legend. Let's make 2 and see what happens. I will have to click on next. So it will ask me whether I want a border. Yes, I want a border of 0.5. I will click on next. I will click on next. I will click on finish. My legend is ready. Now I will just have to modify it or change it. How I will do? I will simply right click on it. I will go to convert to graphics because there are some unwarranted things which I want to move away. I will ungroup it, and after ungrouping I will just make it like this. Place the legend over here, shifting it over here. Population density I am removing because this is not required. This is the first layer I am using. You just see the tab in computer to make it identical, to make it look identically. I think it has gone up a bit. Let's adjust it in proper way. This is the second layer. Similarly, this is the fourth. And finally, as there are 5 classes, class 1, class 2, class 1, class 3, class 5, class 2, class 4. So this is the total legend I am keeping. Again I am inserting. थोड़ा सा एरिया बच गया, और भी थोड़ा बचाने की कोशिश करेंगे because जितना भी इसमें देखिए ये आपका टाइम्स न्यू रोमन में नहीं है, तो इसको हम लोग चेंज करेंगे. What I will do, I will again go to the insert, go to text and add the text over here. I will write legend. My font size will be that I will change from change symbol. As I am doing everything in Times New Roman, I am selecting, making it 12 and bold. You just see now it has come in Times New Roman. Now this population density, it is also not in this thing. I will remove it. Again go to insert, go to text, and I will put the text box over here. I will write person per square kilometer, and through the change symbols option, I will change it from Arial to that of the Times New Roman and keep it in 10, because legend is in 12, so it should obviously be in 10. Now through the tab I am adjusting a bit the total space. You see it has got much more constricted. Now as everything is ready, I will just simply select up this entire thing and right click on them, go to group. So my legend is ready to get placed. I will place it over here. You just see the way I am placing, this have to be specified. This tail bar bottom and this legend bottom should match each other. It should be parallel to each other. This is very important for the sense of aestheticity. Now every map has a source that needs to be specified. So I will have to specify that also. What I will have to do, I will have to just add a text and I need to add up the source. I will write the source over here or keep it over here. What I will have to write, source. I have collected the data from door-to-door survey. So based on field survey, that is primary data, and what I will have to do, or what I will do is, again I will select this font type and font size, and another thing I will do, I will just add up these two brackets just to look nice. Click on apply. Now this is ready, and I will have to place it in such a way that its end should be parallel with that of the legend, this thing, neat line. Now one thing I have not done in my map. What is that? I have not put up the latitude and longitude. Is it not so? So now it's time to put up this latitude and longitude. Right click on this particular neat line, go to properties. And in this properties, first of all check what is the coordinate system. It is WGS 84 UTM zone 46 knots. Okay, then let's go to the grids, and after going to the grid we will have to go for add new grid. And as I will click on the add new grid, these options will come: graticule, measure grid, reference grid. I want to put this graticule. I want to keep graticule. So graticule is being checked up. Now I will go to the next. In the next, as because it is a small area, I will try to get the data in 5 seconds only. 5 seconds for latitude, 5 seconds for longitude. And how it will represent? It will represent in form of this. You just see graticule and levels means it will just form grid. It will be represented in form of grid. If we want that, then I will put like this. If we need levels only, then I will use this. And but I need tick marks and levels. So why I am using this? Because if we have the tick marks, then we can georeference very easily. So that is why I am taking this. Click on next. Major division ticks will come like this and minor division ticks will come like this. It is clearly specifying the software. Now again click on next. I would like to place a small border outside the grid, and I will simply click on finish. And after finishing it, clicking on finish, I will go to the properties, go to the levels and check this left and right. Why? Because otherwise if we will not check this, it will come like this horizontally. I want to make it align vertical, that you will see. And over here format will be in degree, minutes, seconds. Okay, same thing, Times New Roman. Font size will be a bit longer, 11 I am selecting. Click on apply, click on OK, click on apply, click on OK. So you just see it has came like this. This tick marks has come over the entire map. But one thing you see, by these tick marks it is not looking so good. So what I will do, I will just simply again click on it, go to the property, I will just remove this grid line. I want to change it. Go to the property, remove grid, apply. Grid has been removed. I will add up a fresh grid. So graticule I am adding. Next 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Levels only I need. Let's make it 10 because I have seen that it is coming very clumsy. And like this, place a border can be placed, that is not a big deal. Go to the properties as I have shown you. I will make it in Times New Roman, increase the font size, check the left and right option, click on OK, apply, again click on apply, click on OK. You just see it is now looking much more aesthetically beautiful, because you just see every area has got referenced, but it is not clumsy, because the main motto of the cartographic representation is to represent up your map in a proper way so that a layman can understand. Now थोड़ा सा एडजस्टमेंट करना है, उसको हम कर दे रहा है. थोड़ा कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम वाला इंफॉर्मेशन यहाँ पे खींच दिया नीचे की तरफ. एंड देखते हैं और कुछ ऐड कर सकते हैं क्या. नहीं, अभी और फिलहाल कुछ ऐड करने के लिए नहीं है. एवरीथिंग हैज बीन एडेड अप इन अ प्रॉपर वे. वन थिंग इज दैट इफ यू आर डूइंग अ अच्छा, वीडियो शायद क्लियर नहीं है, कुछ कमेंट्स ऐसे आ रहा है, बट क्या करें, यहाँ पे नेटवर्क ठीक नहीं है. नेटवर्क के वजह से हम लोग को सफर करना पड़ रहा है. थैंक यू अपांग सर फॉर योर नाइस कमेंट्स. एंड you just see what I am telling you. Now almost this portion is ready. Now what I need to do is that I need to export. I need to export up my map. I will go to the file. I will go to export map. So these options are coming. I will save my data.
how I will save? I will select the first drive first, in which I have stored my data. I will go to the respective folder, give the name population density map. You just see here also I am using underscore. I am not using this space. Now resolution you will have to fix. You may ask me why I am saving in PDF, not in JPEG. PDF, because in PDF we can store up the information, that is the resolution and other things used to remain fixed. Now whenever you will be preparing that map in PDF, you can save up a good number of your data, but you will lose up some of your data when you will be preparing that in JPEG. So this thing you need to be specified in your mind, that always try to save up your map in PDF. Now click on save. As you click on save, the algorithm will run, and you just see in behind, I think in the respective drive where we are likely to prepare our map has got prepared. So this is the map that we have prepared. The map has got ready. You just see the heading that we have given. These are the grid lines. This is the drawing area. Coordinate system and other information is specified here. This is the legend. This is the scale. So your map is now ready. And one thing I will also show today. Now after that, what I will do is that I will just save my project. You should not forget to do this, because by saving your project, what will happen if your prepared map or finalized layout gets lost, then also you can do it once again. ArcMap document file. So I can use it in the later times also as per as my requirement. And one thing that I will end up my class after showing you with a map, the map of industrial standard. That is the type of map that we should have to give in an industry. You just see, this is a map I have submitted to a particular department. Although I am not authorized to share up any data pertaining to the map, because this is the copyright of that particular department only. But I am just showing you. I can only show you. In this way, we will have to prepare an industrial map. That is, this is a major highway passing. So you see, this is the major highway has been made up in or marked in bold. And after that, these are the other roads, arterial and subarterial roads, that are marked in this color, black color. This is the boundary of the town. These are the important landmarks marked in red. This is the river passing by or flowing through. This is the riverine sand. This is a small scrubland, etc. So you just see, in our industrial map, you will have to do like this. You will have to put both the scale. One is the bar scale, while the other is the RF scale. Both the things you will have to specify. After that, the entire coordinate system and all sorts of information. Legend have to be very specific. You just see over here, the north line has been put up specifically. After that, the respective sectors and other areas are being marked. This is the legend. You just see, I have specified the total area of that particular town area also. And finally, what are the components that you will have to sum up? That is, the total city road is this much of length, the total metal road of this much of length, etc, etc, etc. This is just the arbitrary data. Don't go for the data sets itself. I am just showing. I have modified the data because I know I will be showing it up in a Facebook media, and I cannot share up with you the real data, real picture. So it is altered, but just see that this is the way in which you will have to prepare an industrial map. So that's it for today. So today we have learned, this is the practical number 5, I think. I have taken the 4 or 5 practicals. classes, and your Habibul sir has taken 2. One is for the topological error correction and the other one for the georeferencing. So total 7 practicals are being done in this paper under the digital cartography section. Almost 50% of the syllabus has got completed. 1 or 2 more practicals are remaining only in terms of the spatial query and I think data integration in GIS, that is how can we integrate the survey data, that is the AutoCAD data or the data that you collect from the total station into survey, that is the only remaining part. That will be completed in 2 more days, and after that the projections and the scale construction and other, that you will have to do it up whenever you will reach up ITER, that is whenever you will reach it up on Prantik, because those are manual practicals and you will have to do those things in using pen and paper. So those things will be taken up when I will be at Prantik and all of you will be at Prantik. The normal classroom activities will go on, and I cannot help you until that particular thing opens up. So digitally what we can do, we have done, and 2 more class I will be taking up in this particular paper. So total 8 practicals you will have to conduct, or you will have to put up in your practical sheets or notebooks when you will be going for the semester examination. And I think that all of you have learnt up this particular process of the preparation of a map layout, and if still any of you has any kind of query regarding the process or anything, please feel free to contact me in my WhatsApp number or in my phone number, and please watch the videos of all the different subjects that we are uploading up in the ITER YouTube channel named as an ITER PCTE. Now that particular channel contains the video of A.K. Chakrabarty sir of paper T007, that is Elements of Business Communication, Communicative English and Project Management. Mine paper, that is practical paper, and my Fundamentals of Geology, Geomorphology paper. Anamika madam's paper, Geostatistics. Habibul sir's paper, Cartography, and all these things. So we are trying to do our best so as to complete up your syllabus. Please abide by the Government of India framework and guidelines, as well as the respective provincial state government's framework. Do not move out of the room if it is not required, because this particular pandemic that is happening, that is spreading basically through the touch or human contact, or the community contamination process is on. So please try to refrain yourself in your homes, respective homes. Stay tuned, stay safe, stay updated, think positively, and think in a much more profound and better way. We will be meeting once again tomorrow, as well as the day after tomorrow also, with other new topics and other new subjects. With that's all, I would like to wish you, thank you so much. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.